We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next hour. India holds Pakistan accountable for dastardly terror attack at Pahalgam, expels the Pakistani military attaches, suspends Indus water treaty, closes the land transit Atari border. PM Modi chairs Cabinet Committee on Security meet, vows to bring perpetrators of Pahalgam terror attack to justice. India toughens stand. Pakistani military attaches asked to leave India. Pall of gloom descends across the nation as the mortal remains of the victims start reaching respective hometowns. Family members demand perpetrators to be brought to justice. Centre convenes an all-party meet amid the Pahalgam terror attack. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will chair the meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate India's Steel Global Conference in Mumbai via video conferencing. Over 12,000 business visitors and 250 exhibitors from India and abroad to attend. And US President Trump lashes out at Ukrainian President Zelenskyy for refusing to part with Crimea to end the conflict. On to the details this hour. The Cabinet Committee on Security held a high-level meeting on Wednesday to review the overall security situation in the country. The committee, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, directed all security forces to maintain high vigilance and take all necessary measures to prevent future attacks. India took a series of strong measures following the Pahalgam terror attack, including suspension of the Indus Water Treaty 1960 and the closure of the integrated checkpost Atari with immediate effect. And India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri gave details of those measures taken by India in the wake of attack in Pahalgam. Let's listen in.
Recognizing the seriousness of this terrorist attack, the CCS decided upon the following measures. 1. The Indus Waters Treaty of 1960 will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. 2. The integrated checkpost Atari will be closed with immediate effect. Those who have crossed over with valid endorsements may return through that route before 1 May 2025. 3. Pakistani nationals will not be permitted to travel to India under the SAARC visa exemption scheme visas. Any SVAS visas issued in the past to Pakistani nationals are deemed cancelled. Any Pakistani national currently in India under SVES visa has 48 hours to leave India. 4. The Defence, Military, Naval and Air advisors in the Pakistani High Commission in New Delhi are declared persona non grata. They have a week to leave India. India will be withdrawing its own Defence, Navy and Air advisors from the Indian High Commission in Islamabad. These posts in the respective High Commissions are deemed annulled. 5 support staff of the service advisors will also be withdrawn from both High Commissions. 5. The overall strength of the High Commissions will be brought down to 30 from the present 55 through further reductions to be effected by 1st May 2025. The CCS reviewed the overall security situation and directed all forces to maintain high vigil. It resolved that the perpetrators of this attack will be brought to justice and their sponsors held to account. As with the recent extradition of Tahawur Rana, India will be unrelenting in the pursuit of those who have committed acts of terror or conspired to hold them to make them possible.
Well, also, the centre has called an all-party meeting on Thursday in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will chair the session, while Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who returned from Kashmir on Wednesday, is expected to brief opposition leaders on the security situation and the leaders on the security situation and the government's response. The meeting will focus on security assessments, intelligence inputs and diplomatic steps taken following the attack. And for more, we have Akshay Dongre joining us. Well, Akshay, India has announced a series of strong diplomatic measures against Pakistan yesterday. India has also pulled the plug on Indus Water Treaty lately. What will it mean and how will it impact Pakistan?
Well, it's time to respond to Pakistan in a language that it understands. First of all, let's talk about the Indus Water Treaty that the government has announced that it is pulling the plug from. The treaty that was signed in 1960 was brokered by the World Bank, and as far as the sharing of water is concerned, the western rivers of the Indus water, its tributaries, were supposed to be given to Pakistan as far as the water usage is concerned, and a water sharing formula of about 80-20 was devised. However, India can limit the use as far as the usage of water is concerned, and that is what it is going to do as far as the kind of heinous terror attack that has taken place in the beautiful valley of Jammu and Kashmir. So clearly, what we are seeing at this point in time is that government is responding in strong actions and not just words by pulling the plug on Indus Water Treaty. The rivers that provide about 90% of water to Pakistan will be limited. India has been generously giving water to Pakistan for decades, even beyond what was allotted to Pakistan. India has been allowing the water to flow from the Indus River. However, after the 2019 attacks, several reservoirs have already been built as far as any of these preparations were concerned, and that seems to be the case in this attack that has taken place. So the Indus Water Treaty, pulling the plug from it, will not only force the Pakistani government to act against terrorism, but also force the Pakistani public, the population, to ask questions to their government as far as the state-sponsored terror policy of the Pakistani military, the Pakistani intelligence agency, and the government are concerned. So this is not that India wants to do this, but its hand has been forced to take such drastic measures because neither the government nor the intelligence agencies nor the army are getting any message that have been given, any messages that have been given to Pakistan over a series of decades that it has to stop the state-sponsored policy of terrorism, cross-border infiltration, providing of arms and ammunition to the terrorists who are operating or who cross the border or even take training in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. So clearly, what we are seeing is a drastic measure that has been taken by the government of India, along with the limiting of the number of officials that are working in both the consulates, both the embassies in Islamabad and in New Delhi.
Right.
Besides that, we have a lot other measures that are being taken
Absolutely.
by the government to make the population also understand the kind of policies that the Pakistani government is running and destabilizing the entire region and killing even the innocent people, innocent tourists who
Right.
have just gone to travel to Kashmir.
A strong measure there, of course. Akshay, also, how will the closure of the Wagha-Attari route and the cancellation of the Pakistani SAARC visas affect the trade and other bilateral relations?
Well, the Attari-Wagha border is, many a time seen as the beacon of hope that relations will improve between the two countries. Trade will enhance both the BSF that is deployed at the borders of India, at the line of control, and at the international borders rather, and the Pakistani Rangers who are deployed there, even exchange greetings and even people go there. So closure of this Attari-Wagha border is a message that talks cannot continue, friendship or any kind of betterment of relations cannot happen at a time when your neighbor is directly attacking and killing the civilians of our country. So that is why it becomes a very big symbolism from India of the decision of closing the Wagah-Atari border. Besides that, the trade also goes through these checkpoints between India and Pakistan, so that will hit that as well. The other point about cancellation of visas, the civilians who are living here under the mentioned visas by the Ministry of External Affairs have to return back to Pakistan within a span of just 48 hours. The defense attaches of the Air Force, Navy and Army of Pakistan who are deployed here in the embassies will have to go back. They have been called a persona non grata. They have been called people with the status of persona non grata, which means that they are not welcome here in the country and have a week to return back to Pakistan. And India will also be calling its defense attaches from the embassy in Islamabad, along with limiting the number of the officials who are deployed at the embassy, which means that there will be a significant reduction in diplomatic activities between the two countries, because diplomacy has been going on for decades now. It seems that diplomacy has already stopped working when it comes to talks with Pakistan years ago, and it's not diplomacy that it's not the language of diplomacy that Pakistan seems to be understanding, but drastic measures will only now force this menace to be ended once and for all. Back to you, Pakshi.
All right, Akshay, as you mentioned, and we know that another strong measure was India downsizing the diplomatic ties with Pakistan. How will it basically impact the embassy and the defense personnel?
Well, the defense attaches will be called back by India, the attaches who are deployed in Islamabad, and similarly Pakistan will also have to remove its own defense attaches, because there have been suspicions that these defense attaches have been working as ISI agents or working with the intelligence agencies of Pakistan, trying to destabilize the region instead of strengthening the relations. So that is the decision that has been taken. Second is downsizing of embassy staff means that reduction in diplomatic activities, reduction in issuance of visa, longer interview times when it comes to the other kind of visa concerns. So clearly this is a message that has been given by India that talks and terror cannot continue simultaneously, and Pakistan will have to irrevocably and in a stringent manner act against terrorism if it wants to even have dialogue with India anytime in near future. Back to you.
Absolutely, Akshay. Thank you so much for all those details and insights. And moving on, people of all walks of life are protesting against the terror attack in Pahalgam, and this includes the victims of terrorism in Kashmir. DD India correspondent Prasar Bharati spoke to a specially abled person who is now forced to spend his life in a wheelchair.
Whole Jammu and Kashmir is full of anger. They are protesting against the gruesome killing of the tourists. And I have with me Mr. Javed. He himself is a victim of terrorism. Let's talk to him and find out. Mr. Javed, how would you react first on this killing?
We all are sad. We are discouraged. We are unhappy to see that killings have happened, and that in a day broad light. And when we heard about this, we got too much discouraged that we were expecting peace, tranquility, brotherhood. Since 2019, we are seeing that everything was all right. People of Kashmir were engaged in day-to-day works. They were engaged in the hospitality of the tourism, and we are known for the hospitality. But when suddenly we heard about the killings, we got very much discouraged.
Tell me, you yourself are a victim of terrorism. How did it happen?
It happened way back before. It was also a terrorist attack. Since 1997, I am on the wheelchair. I am advocating for the safeguard of rights of persons with disabilities in J&K. When I have started education for children with disabilities.
Now you are carrying a slogan here also. This is Urdu. What does it say?
It says Katleam Band Karo, that stop the killings. Killings has nothing to do with the humanity. We can keep the humanity alive always. When we are humans, we have to care for the co-humans. No religion, no human organization says that killing is legal. Killing is a very bad act, and when it happens, whole humanity dies.
So there you heard, there's a lot of anger here. People are totally against any kind of terror activity here. They are clearly saying, they are openly saying that this is an act of terror at the behest of Pakistan. This is a state-sponsored terrorism, and this is what the people of Kashmir, people of Srinagar want to tell the world. with cameraman Mohit Uike in Srinagar. This is Vishal Barrister for TD India.
All right, a news just coming in. An encounter broke out between the terrorists and security forces in Basantgarh area of Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir. Indian Army and J&K police are engaged in the encounter at the moment as the gunfight is still underway. More details are awaited. We'll tell you again, news just coming in. An encounter broke out between the terrorists and the security forces in Basantgarh area of Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir. Indian Army and Jammu and Kashmir police are engaged in the encounter right now. And as the gunfight is still underway, more details are awaited. And time now for a short break. We'll be back in a while.
Geopolitics and trade deals, economic challenges amid development, hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
I always believe a good story with the right vision can break boundaries. RRR proved that with the applause it got in the US market, in the Japanese market. World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit Waves is exactly doing that now, taking Indian entertainment global. So grab your seat, the adventure begins.
Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
I have seen cinema evolve across generations from tradition to technology. Waves brings all of it together on one global stage for the world to witness. See you at World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit Waves 2025 in Mumbai.
Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
Swagatam to Andhra Pradesh, the coastal jewel of India, a state steeped in history. From the Gandi Kota Fort to the majestic Gondapalli Fort, a region known as the Rice Bowl of India. A holy land with rivers Krishna and Godavari flowing through it. Every part of this land tells a story of culture and devotion, and of a modern, developed, vibrant India. The graceful Kuchipudi and exuberant Dhimsa showcase the artistic brilliance of this land. The Ikkat and Kalamkari speak of the talent of artisans and their skilled hands. A cultural concoction that unites people in the spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam.
Bharat welcomes the world to a new era of creativity. Waves World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit, as Mumbai hosts the global stage for creativity and innovation. Connecting creators through Creatosphere, where emerging voices rise. Wave Accelerator, where ideas meet global investors. Waves Bazaar, a global marketplace for content. Connecting countries through global media dialogue and industry roundtable. Bharat Pavilion, capturing India's rich history of storytelling.
वेव्स के रूप में भारत एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाने जा रहा है जिसमें दुनिया के एंटरटेनमेंट लैंडस्केप पर उसको बदलने की क्षमता होगी.
From culturals to cinema, gaming to animation, fueling the next wave of entertainment. Connecting creators, connecting countries. Waves 2025.
Namaskaram from Telangana, India's youngest state, a rising star.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, the whole nation is in agony and pain in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terror attack. People across the nation are mourning the death of victims, offering condolences and holding candle marches in solidarity with the victim families. The mortal remains of the victims have been taken to their respective hometowns for the last rites. The families of victims of the Pahalgam terror attack mourned the loss of their loved ones as they urged the government to take strong action against the perpetrators of the heinous crime. And the mortal remains of Shubham Dwivedi, a 31-year-old cement businessman from Kanpur, have been returned to his residence after he was killed in a terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Kashmir. Dwivedi, who had married Aishanya just 2 months ago on February 12th, was vacationing with her and an 11-member family group in the region. Tragically, Shubham was shot after failing to recite the kalma during the attack. The family had been scheduled to return home on April 23rd.
सबसे बड़ा था हमारा, ये फैमिली में जॉइंट फैमिली थी, तो सबसे बड़ा बच्चा था। पहली डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग की ओरछा से हुई थी हम लोग की, तो हम लोग इतने खुश थे, पूरा परिवार ये हम लोगों का। पर हम यही चाहते कि जैसा हादसा हम लोगों के साथ हुआ ऐसा किसी के साथ ना हो।
तो उन्होंने तो पूछ के मारा ना कि आप हिंदू हैं, मुस्लिम हैं, कौन है, तो क्या नाम है आपका, कलमा पढ़ के सुनाओ तो छोड़ देंगे। तो इन्होंने सोचा ऐसा कोई है यहाँ का लोकल बंदा जो मजाक कर रहा है ऐसे, तो इन लोगों ने ऐसे मजाक उससे बोल दिया कि नहीं जाओ उधर, हमें न तंग करो, उधर जाओ। इतना कहते ही उसने गोली मार दी।
शुभम भैया उनकी अभी 12 फरवरी को ही शादी हुई है, तो वो और उनकी वाइफ घुड़सवारी करते हुए गए हुए थे ऊपर। वहाँ पर जानकारी हम लोग को ऐसे हुई कि भाभी ने फ़ोन किया नीचे ताऊ जी को कि शुभम भैया को गोली मार दी है सर पर। ऐसा बताया जा रहा है कि नाम पूछने के बाद गोलीबारी वहाँ पर शुरू करी है और सर पे गोली मारी गई है।
Well, the tragic terrorist attack in Pahalgam claimed the lives of tourists from Gujarat, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. Among the victims were Yatish Parmar and his 17-year-old son Sumit from Bhavnagar, Shailash Kailathia from Gujarat, Dinesh Mirania from Raipur and Sushil Nathaniel from Indore. Take a look at the report.
Dinesh Mirania from Raipur, Chhattisgarh, was one of the victims of the dastardly terrorist attack in Pahalgam. He went to Kashmir with his wife, daughter and son to celebrate his 18th wedding anniversary. During the attack, Dinesh was with his daughter Lakshita while his wife and son were a short distance away. The terrorists came and asked for his name, and as soon as he revealed his name, the terrorists shot him dead. The family went to the valley for celebrating wedding anniversary, but returned home with agony, anguish, and Dinesh's mortal remains. Their trip cut brutally short by a dastardly terror attack.
कल हमको 5:30 बजे ऐसा सूचना आया कि इस प्रकार का घटना वहाँ हुई है, जो इसको भी गोली लगी है। जब हम पतासाजी करने की कोशिश की है सरकार द्वारा, यहाँ से जब संपर्क किए तो मालूम चला कि वो हॉस्पिटल ले गए हैं, और हॉस्पिटल में 9 साढ़े 9 बजे तक हमको मालूम नहीं चला क्या हुआ क्या नहीं, लेकिन 9:30 बजे के बाद समाचार के द्वारा ये पुष्टि हो गई कि उनका देहांत हो चुका था।
उनका आईडी कार्ड पूछ के ही आतंकवादियों ने उन पर हमला किया, मतलब फायरिंग किया। आईडी कार्ड देखे, उनको कलाम पढ़ने के लिए बोले। उनकी वाइफ और लड़का और बच्ची 3 साथ में थे, उससे उनके साथ में सामने में मारे हैं गोली से। आपातपी मच गई, सब हॉस्पिटल पहुंचे। हमको 8 बजे का डेड बॉडी देखने के बाद कंफर्म हुए, नहीं तो आगे घायल है बोल के हमको खबर मिला था।
Among many families which have been left completely devastated and in extreme agony is the Parmar family from Bhavnagar in Gujarat. It's a double blow for the family as the attack claimed the lives of Yatish Parmar and also his 17-year-old son Sumit. The family and the entire community have been left in a heart-wrenching silence, left by their sudden passing.
जैसे साइट सीन के लिए बाहर निकले होटल के आउटसाइड, तो वहाँ पर आतंकियों ने पकड़ के उसके साथ ऐसा हादसा हुआ है कि उसको शूट कर दिया है। 0 रेंज से ही उसके साथ गोली मार दी है।
Shailesh Kathalia's family from Gujarat was also shattered after the brutal attack. Shailesh was about to celebrate his 44th birthday on April 23rd and had gone to Kashmir with his family to make it a memorable occasion. He was employed with a major government bank in Mumbai and was the only son of his parents.
तो टूरिस्ट पे अटैक करते हैं, ये लोगों को कोई ये निष्ठा इसकी कोई क्या करे हम, इतने गिरे हुए लोग हैं आतंकवादी। पूरे देश यही साथ। आज मैंने मेरा भाई खोया है, कल दूसरे पे मारे गए, सुधरने वाले नहीं है। इसको मार के खत्म करो मोदी जी, इसको खत्म करो।
His untimely death, a day before his birthday, has left the family at utter loss, which is staring at a future without him, a void that seems impossible to fill. Sushil Nathaniel from Indore in Madhya Pradesh was also killed in cold blood. He too had travelled to Kashmir with his wife, son and daughter to celebrate a family occasion. All wanted to make his wife's birthday a memorable one. The terrorist asked him to recite the Islamic Kalma. When he couldn't, they shot him dead in front of his family. His 30-year-old daughter was also injured in the attack.
प्रशासन को धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ कि आज हमारे ऐसे दुखद समय में ये सब हमारे साथ हैं। जो चीज़ हम सिर्फ टीवी में देखते थे कि ऐसा होता है, और आज हमारे परिवार में पहली बार हमारे परिवार में से कोई टेररिस्ट विक्टिम मतलब हम लोग बने हैं। हमारे लिए ये सहन करना बहुत मुश्किल था। कल जब से हमें ये न्यूज़ मिली तब से हम कहाँ कांटेक्ट नहीं करे हैं, और हमारे लिए बहुत मुश्किल है ये समय। हम सबके साथ मतलब मेरे मौसा जी हैं वो साथ में, और हमसे बहुत कनेक्टेड और बहुत ही अच्छे इंसान थे। वो बहुत स्पिरिचुअल थे साथ में, वो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोफेशनल एंड पर ही बहुत अच्छे थे।
The family is devastated beyond words and still struggling to come to terms with the brutality that took him from them. 58-year-old Sushil was an LIC branch manager and had long wished to visit Jammu and Kashmir, not knowing that this would be his last vacation ever. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, the Pahalgam terrorist attack took the life of Syed Adil Hussain Shah, the sole breadwinner of a Kashmiri family. Shah was killed by the terrorist while he was trying to protect a group of tourists during a brutal terror attack. His untimely death has left his wife, 2 children and the entire family in profound grief. Terrorists also took the life of Neeraj Udwani, a resident of Jaipur who worked in UAE and was spending vacations in Pahalgam.
The serene and quiet lanes and bylanes of this picturesque village of Hapatnad in Pahalgam echoed with wails and shrill cries on Tuesday. The cowardly terrorist attack claimed lives of many tourists in Pahalgam. Syed Adil Hussain Shah, a horse rider and a sole breadwinner for his family, was the lone Kashmiri who was killed in cold blood by the terrorists. Reports suggest that during the attack, Adil displayed remarkable courage by attempting to wrestle a gun from the terrorist. He was shot dead in cold blood. While others chose to flee for life, he decided to try and save some. His regard for safety of tourists ultimately proved fatal. The sacrifice prompted an outpouring of support and condolences. Hundreds gathered to pay last respects to the valiant son of Kashmir as Adil Shah was laid to rest on Wednesday. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah also turned up at the funeral prayer and hailed his courage to stand up against the armed assailants.
ये एक शख्स थे जिन्होंने हमले को रोकने की कोशिश की और जिन्होंने शायद बंदूक छीनने की भी कोशिश की, और तभी जाके इनको निशाना बनाया गया। इस खानदान का हमें ख्याल रखना होगा, इनकी मदद करनी होगी, और मैं यहाँ इन सबको यकीन दिलाने आया हूँ कि इस मौके पे हुकूमत इनके साथ खड़ी है और जितना हम इनके लिए कर सकेंगे हम कर लेंगे।
The somber and gloomy mood in Kashmir was also reflected in the state of Rajasthan as feelings of anger and despair engulfed a neighborhood in Jaipur. 32-year-old Neeraj Udwani was among the 26 people killed in Pahalgam terror attack. Udwani, who worked in the UAE, was spending his vacation in Pahalgam with his wife when terrorists opened fire on tourists in the Basran meadow. Neeraj's relatives are now demanding a befitting reply to the terrorists. Udwani worked in the UAE and was spending his vacation in Pahalgam with his wife when terrorists opened fire on tourists in the Basran meadow. A time of celebration with family and friends became a lifelong source of misery and anguish. The loss is not only devastating for the families, but is also likely to leave them with lasting psychological scars that may actually never heal. Bureau Report, TD India.
And we have Debyendu Mondal joining us from Delhi for more details. Well, Debyendu, the CCS decided yesterday to take several steps on the diplomatic front. What are the key concerns and outcomes that the political parties are expected to address in today's meeting, an all-party meeting in the evening today, especially in light of the Pahalgam attack?
CCS meeting did conclude last evening, and it is one of the highest decision-making body of the government that takes strategic decisions at times like this. And the CCS, of course, comprises the Prime Minister, who is the chair, and it has the Defence Minister, the Home Minister, the External Affairs Minister, the NSA, which is the National Security Advisor, and other senior officials from the PMO. And the Cabinet Secretariat are part of the CCS, who were present in the meeting last evening that took place at the Prime Minister's residence, and we saw the outcome that was out by the Foreign Ministry's press conference that we came to know last evening at 9 p.m, where India has decided to stop the, in fact, put the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance, giving a major blow to Pakistan, who has been sponsoring terrorism into the soils of India for a very, very long time. And therefore, today's parliamentary party meeting, in fact, the all-party meeting in Parliament at about 6 p.m, which has been called by the government, is a key step towards building confidence amongst all political parties. And the crucial meeting will be chaired by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, wherein other senior members of the government, including the Home Minister, the Foreign Minister, as well as several other cabinet ministers will be present, who will be briefing the opposition parties. And from the opposition side, LOP Rahul Gandhi, as well as Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge, will be present in the meeting of the all-party parliamentary committee meeting at about 6 p.m. at the Parliament Annex here in New Delhi. So, of course, all eyes will be there as to what outcomes come from that meeting. But of course, having said this, Lipakshi, this is a common protocol that is undertaken by the government to apprise all the political parties and send out a message across the nation that despite ideological differences and political differences between all the political parties, the country stands united at a time like this, when its sovereignty has been threatened by a rogue neighbor like Pakistan. So of course, this messaging is also very, very clear, and the government's effort to unite all political parties and apprise them of the decision that has been taken by the government and the Cabinet Committee on Security is a crucial step in a democratic setup. So therefore, what we are given to understand is that Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be briefing all the political parties that will be attending the all-party meeting on the efforts that have been taken on part of the defence and the Indian Army, while the Home Minister will be apprising all the political parties about the investigations and the efforts that have been undertaken in the state of Jammu and Kashmir to curb terrorism, and the investigations thereafter that followed. And while the Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar will be briefing all the political parties about the steps that have been taken by the government in terms of the diplomatic steps that we have seen yesterday, wherein of course the Indus Water Treaty has been kept in abeyance. Several Pakistani diplomats have been asked to leave India, as well as the 3 defence attaches at the High Commission of Pakistan has been termed as persona non grata. So of course they will have to leave. So these are some of the key important issues that will be discussed in the all-party meeting at 6 p.m. that is expected to take place in the Parliament Annex.
All right, Debyendu. Also, how do the party leaders plan to respond to the growing security concerns in Jammu and Kashmir, particularly following the recent attack day before yesterday? And how are the opposition leaders there expected to react?
Well, Lipakshi, we see that since yesterday, even the opposition parties are speaking in one voice, that is, in terms of the unity of India, and keeping their political ideologies and their political differences aside. It is a time that, the opposition parties also show that, the country is one, and we are all united in this fight against terrorism and this fight against Pakistan, which has been raging a proxy war and its state-sponsored terrorism on on the soil of India, which has been threatening India's sovereignty and integrity and killing hundreds of people every year. So therefore, the political parties are expected to keep a line that they are all united, and therefore I feel that of course it will be the case wherein the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi also made a telephonic call to Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, and spoke to him. Despite of him being in the United States, he has cut short his visit to the US to attend this all-party meeting, and he's currently in India, who will be attending this all-party meeting this evening. Even the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge will be attending this meeting this evening. And he also spoke to, because he is also the leader of the house in the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house, and therefore he also spoke to Union Home Minister Amit Shah, extending the support from the Congress party. And the Congress party has said that they are with the government in whatever decision they take to curb terrorism and to bring safety and security for all citizens of this country. Elipakshi.
All right, Debendu, thank you so much for all those details. And now we go to Vishal Baristo, who is joining us from Srinagar. Well, Vishal, you are in Srinagar right now. Give us a sense of what's the situation like in the valley right now.
Well, a very good morning to you, Lipakshi. Life is limping slowly back to normal, and I'm here at Lal Chowk, which is the epicenter of Srinagar. This place used to buzz with a lot of activities, but the footfall, especially of the tourists, has fallen down drastically. Though there are still some tourists left, many of them, they have rescheduled their flights, they have cut short their visit to the valley. I would ask my cameraman to first show you the shops. They are open today, and this is the main market here at the Lal Chowk. The message they want to send is, yesterday was a protest, but today they want to tell the enemy of the country that India will not be cowed down by any terror attack. So they want to tell the world that life will get to normalcy, and the security agencies, the defense forces, will take the culprits to task. Though it's been more than 24 hours now, but still we are yet to hear anything from the security agencies, because yesterday 3 sketches were released, and after that the NIA along with the Jammu and Kashmir police, the military intelligence and the CRPF, they are all working in tandem. But so far there has been no information as far as the terrorists are concerned. Meanwhile, the infiltration attempts continue in different parts of Jammu and Kashmir. Yesterday it was Baramulla and Pahalgam, and today also there are reports of infiltration attempts. But let me tell you that at 3 o'clock in the evening, an all-party meeting has been called by the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Umar Abdullah, and we expect the all parties to be on the same page, because this is a time when we all need to stick together, we all need to be united, because this is the time when we have to fight this menace, because Kashmir has long been a victim of terror activity, but this is the first time when tourists have been targeted. So definitely quite a solemn occasion and no time for politics. Lipakshi?
Absolutely. Also, Vishal, what's the latest on the tourist front? Many special flights were flown yesterday to fly them back.
Well, all efforts are being made, and also a special request has been made to the airlines to accommodate as many flights as they can, and also to accommodate the cancellations, because many people have cancelled their flights and they want to reschedule their flights, but because the roads are blocked till Jammu because of the landslides, the whole focus and the footfall and the traffic is on the airways. So they are trying to find a solution, but still people are trying to help the local people. I'm talking about help the tourists. They are offering them budget hotels, they are offering them all kinds of transport facility. But yes, the problem is there, and the administration, the local administration and also the state government is also trying to find out how they can resolve the situation, because on one hand they have to look for the culprits, on the other hand they have to facilitate safe passage to the tourists. Lipakshi?
Also, Vishal, we also had breaking that there has been an encounter between the security forces and the terrorists near the Udhampur area, and security across the Kashmir Valley has increased manyfold. Tell us about the joint combing operations by the Army, CRPF, J&K police in the region.
Well, we had the Home Minister himself flying to Srinagar. He also went to Pahalgam, the place where this incident happened, and he had given clear instructions to the top brass of the security forces, and also the Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir held a meeting with the DG of Jammu and Kashmir and also DG of CRPF. So the joint combing operation is on. Meanwhile, our defense forces are also on high alert. They are busy fighting and also countering the infiltration attempts. We have had 3 attempts so far. Yesterday in the Baramulla sector, Uri sector of Baramulla, 2 AK-47 rifles and 1 pistol along with war stores were recovered. 1 body has also been recovered, but the identity of the person is yet to be ascertained, who is believed to be one of the infiltrators. So while the combing operation continues, the economic activity which has taken a beating because of this terror attack also needs to be addressed, and this is what the local administration and the state government are trying very hard to focus on. As far as the security and safe passage of the tourists are concerned, security and safety of the people of Jammu and Kashmir are concerned, the security agencies have a very tough task at hand, but they are working overnight to resolve the situation here in Jammu and Kashmir. Lepakshi.
All right. Vishal, also special forces, as we know, sniffer dogs and other technical intelligence means have been deployed to track down the attackers. Any more information you have as of now?
Well, certainly all efforts are being made. Artificial intelligence is one. Drones have also been deployed. Sniffer dogs, yes, these are the usual procedures which are adopted, but artificial intelligence will play a major role because the area is quite dense. It's a dense forest, and infiltrators and the terrorists took advantage of the geographical conditions, and the area is sprawling across many kilometers. So definitely artificial intelligence will play a major role, but so far we are yet to hear any information about any kind of success. But definitely we have the sketches, and the security agencies and the armed forces are working on it. A reward of 20 lakh has already been announced by the Jammu and Kashmir police.
All right, thank you so much, Vishal, for all that update, and we'll keep taking more updates from you throughout the day. And Samir Guha from Kolkata had also gone to Jammu and Kashmir with his wife and daughter to spend their holidays on April 16th and was supposed to return home on Wednesday. The family was extremely happy, but the terrorist attack on Tuesday took away all their joy. The terrorist killed Samir Guha. His family members still cannot believe that they will never see him smiling again. Happy face again.
वो फैमिली ट्रिप में थे। वो उनका वाइफ जो मेरी दीदी है और मेरी भांजी, ये तीनों मिलके गए थे। डेथ हुई है वो मेरी जीजा जी का हुआ है, समीर गुहा का। ड्राइवर ने फिर रात को 3 बजे फ़ोन करके पूरा डिटेल्स बताया। मतलब यही बताया कि मेरा जो समीर गुहा का डेथ हो चुका है।
An Indian Air Force Corporal Tej Heliang lost his life on Tuesday. He had recently gotten married and was visiting Pahalgam with his wife. After confirming his religion, the terrorist brutally killed him right in front of her. Originally from the lower Subansiri district of Arunachal Pradesh, Tej was posted in Srinagar for some time. 2 of his brothers are also serving in the Indian Army, while his father is the village head in their hometown. His tragic death has cast a deeper shadow of grief over the entire village, plunging the community into mourning. His young wife, just months into their new life together, is in deep shock, completely devastated and inconsolable as her world has collapsed around her. Also, the brutality of killing innocent people after asking their religion in Pahalgam also happened with Bharat Bhushan of Bengaluru. The terrorist riddled him with bullets in front of his wife and 3-year-old son. The terrorist asked Bharat Bhushan about his religion. When they found out that he was a Hindu, they shot him till he fell down. Bharat Bhushan had gone to Jammu and Kashmir on 18th of April. The scene of his death was so painful that it is difficult to even imagine. Well, Hemant Joshi, a resident of Dombivli, Maharashtra, also went to Jammu and Kashmir for a holiday filled with joyful moments, but never returned. After his son completed his 10th grade exams, he set out on a trip with his wife and son. The simple and kind-hearted Hemant Joshi was brutally killed by terrorists in Pahalgam. At the age of 44, Hemant Joshi had planned the trip to Jammu and Kashmir so that his family would return with beautiful memories. However, due to the cowardly attack of the terrorist, the family returned with an unending sorrow that will forever haunt them.
हेमंत संडे को गया था इधर पहलगाम कश्मीर में, और दूसरा ही दिन ये ऐसा पहलगाम में जाते समय भीड़ हल्ला हो गया। ये बहुत निंदनीय है। और इधर ये कश्मीर है, भारत का नंदनवन है अपना, और नंदनवन की जगह ये ऐसा होता है। ये बहुत दुखदायी घटना है, तो ये ऐसा होना नहीं चाहिए। गवर्नमेंट ने उसके ऊपर तुरंत एक्शन लेना चाहिए कि इसके आगे ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि आगे कोई कश्मीर में जाने का नाम ही नहीं लेंगे ऐसा अगर होता है।
And moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate India Steel 2025, the 6th edition of the biennial international exhibition and conference via video conferencing today. The event will bring together leading stakeholders from across the globe steel value chain to discuss the future trajectory of the sector with a sharp focus on growth, sustainability, resilience and innovation. Key highlights of the international conference cum exhibition include the display of cutting-edge technologies and advancements in the steel industry. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.